Hey, this is Chris, Facts Over Economics. How you doing? I had this whole speech prepared, and I'm not going to do that. Well, let's just get right down to the point. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. In the last year, $4 trillion has been created, literally, out of thin air, and has been put in. I don't know exactly the mechanism by which that is done. I understand it has to do with the Fed and the banks and the government, and somehow, some way, somebody makes a decision that this is going to happen. You may have heard the word quantitative easing. Don't really know exactly what that means. The fact of the matter is, $4 trillion has been dumped, literally dumped, in 12 months, which really, it's almost like saying it was just dumped overnight. It's like one day we woke up in the United States and there was $16 trillion in money circulating through the country in its various, physical and electronic forms. And the next day, fast forward a year, there's $20 trillion circulating through the economy in its various forms. And so what does that cause? Well, it causes inflation. It just does. Whether or not that inflation is accounted for by the federal government in its economic reports, no, it's not. It just isn't. But I think if you, right? I mean, I know I have. Like, if I go to the grocery store, everything's more expensive. If I go to the lumber yard, everything's more expensive. If I went to buy a pickup truck, everything was more expensive. You want a car, it's more expensive. Everything is. This is just a matter of being observant. This isn't a matter of me saying, well, I'm looking at these stats and blah, blah, blah. No. I go to the grocery store. I actually do buy a fair amount of groceries. I know that food is more expensive. I went and bought my truck. The sales rep told me this truck would have been $7,000 less about 6 months ago. If that's not inflation, I don't know what is. Now, inflation's not a cut and dried thing, right? The only parallel I can think of this, what we're going through now, and it's not exactly like it was back in that particular instance, and I'm talking about the California gold rush back in the 1840s, where, I don't remember any exact figures, but like, for example, an egg would be, I'm just going to throw out $10. I mean, in other words, it was so expensive compared to what an egg would have been in the rest of the country, except now we have a gold rush of sorts in the entire country. And so everybody everywhere is experiencing that kind of sticker shock when they go to buy something. And so what does this mean? I mean, as this money goes through the economy, it stands to reason that more dollars means higher prices. And that's just the way it is. It is supply and demand. If the supply of dollars goes up, the demand goes up for goods and services. People look around and please, understand, when you're buying something, like, I'm a business, and so any business, I don't care which business it is, any business with any number, with any amount of intelligence in its corporate structure, or its, in my case, my structure, they're looking at all this money being dumped into the economy, and they're saying, hey, hold on, there's all this money that we can get because everybody's got it. And so, can we raise our prices 5%? Can we raise them 10%? Can we raise them 20%? I don't know what that figure ultimately is, but it is. That's just the way it goes. And of course, with me, part of the reason why I need to look at getting more money, well, number one, I have to buy things. And so therefore I'm looking at grocery prices going up. I'm looking at everything that I buy, the cost is going up. Therefore I need to make more money. And so it's not like I'm just arbitrarily saying, oh, I think I can just make more money. I don't think that, let's not confuse making more money because you've proven your competence in something, or that you are offering something that would be in high demand anyway. We're just talking about in general that people recognize there's more money out there, and they understand that, you know what, I don't have to be greedy about it, although I think a lot of people are. I'm not greedy. Maybe I should be, right? But, you know, if there's 20% more money in the money supply, well, I can probably get half of that. I mean, every single person in the United States just got an extra, over the last year, however many dollars you got. And it's just like, did you put that in the bank? No, you didn't, because banks don't pay anything. But you're looking to buy something. You're looking to get something. You're looking to make your life better. You know, things you might have been putting off. It's like if you're a family of 6 and you just got a $7,200 check and you're renting, and you're like, hold on, $7,200. That gets us there. Let's say to a new house, or even just an existing house. Maybe it gets you that new vehicle. Maybe it gets you all the money to add on to your house. Maybe whatever it is. Now you're going to go spend it. Just understand, everybody. See, it's different. If you do well for yourself and you get extra money, and you're elevating yourself above the norm in economic status, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about everybody just got boosted up 20%. Everybody. And so what does that really mean? Well, it means nobody really got boosted at all. But because you've got the extra money, you're going to spend it. And of course, I don't have an answer to the inflation that is happening and will continue to happen. It will eventually work its way through to your retirement account and the money that you have in the bank. What to do about that? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea how to plan in an age of especially when inflation, especially when the government doesn't report the inflation. I really don't know. And that's the conundrum here. We just don't know what do you do? I have no idea. All I know is everything that cost me X this year is going to cost me X times 1.1 or 1.2 next year. But you can only buy so many things ahead, right? I mean, let's buy $5,000 worth of canned food. Well, eventually it still runs out, and then, whatever. Pick product A and figure out how much it's going to cost next year. And that's what we're all facing. That's what we're all facing now. And unlike in the past, there's no investment that you can make really to offset that. Unless maybe it's land. But understand this, if you listen to various conservative, and of course I am conservative, so I'm not, don't get me wrong, but I listen to conservative radio shows, not as much as I used to, but it's like gold, precious metals. It's like, you know what land and gold and precious metals have in common? All they do not provide an actual return on investment. They merely preserve the money that you had. And of course, maybe it could be, it really could be, that that's as good as it gets from here on out. And so it's not a bad idea to have land. It's not a bad idea to have gold. But it's like, you don't get rich investing in those things. Well, unless you're dealing in a speculative market like we have right now. And then, well, not for silver. Well, yeah, but eventually it goes away. You know, one day the stimulus money is going to dry up, and it's coming. It has to come. And, well, I think it'll continue, actually. My opinion is the United States is going to continue to print money like there's no tomorrow, because we can, because we have the world's reserve currency. There's a price to pay. That's just the way it is. There's a price to pay, and you know, a lot of people a whole lot smarter than me don't know what the hell's going on. Excuse me, didn't mean to say that. But who knows what's going to happen when it gets here? It's going to be like the Weimar Republic. Which, by the way, the only reason that hasn't happened yet is because no one can see what's happening. But if you open your eyes and look at the prices of everything you're paying for, you should by now understand what's going on. Okay? Look, feel free to ignore me. I don't, it's like, and don't feel like you're ignoring me at your own risk, because you're not, because like I said, I'm not an economist, but it's not good. This is you what's the old saying? You don't get something for nothing, ever, and you just don't, and that's just the way it is. I hate to be so somber about it, but it's like I'm 58 years old. My wife's 62. We're coming up on retirement. I mean, she's already getting her Social Security, and I'm going to get mine. And it's like, that's not even going to nearly cut it. And so my goal for the next 7 or 8 years is to make as much money as I can make. And then somehow hope that, I don't know, that it works, right? Somehow I hope it works out, because financially speaking, I don't see a good end to this. And even if you think you have a fair amount of money set back, and even if you think that you're in good shape, I think you better multiply your expected future expenses by at least a factor of 10, and then still figure out if you have enough. I just don't think we have enough. I don't think anybody's going to have enough, except for the very rich people. Well, that's depressing, isn't it? In the meantime, there's still lives to be led, there's still fun to be had, there's still family to enjoy, and there's things that are important that we have at least some measure of control over, and so I suggest maybe we might all want to focus on those things. Alrighty, got a question or comment? Leave in the section. I know I've gone on forever. I don't even know how many minutes this is. It is 13 minutes long. If you stuck around, either maybe you just have been thinking these things and nobody's talked about it. If so, well, this is a jump off point to hey, look, got some ideas? Leave them in the question and comment section below. I am open to any and all rational ideas. And we will see you on the next inflated video.